to the OhioRAAM Show.
Well, hello, this is Lee Kreider, and this is the OhioRAAM Show number 340, where we put the ultra in ultracycling.
And I'm Jim Lawyer, and I'm Lee's sidekick, and we want to talk about who graciously helps bring you the show is our OhioRAAM time stations. We've got time station 41 in Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, and 43, which I run in Chillicothe.
And Jim does a very good job there. And, I was just thinking, Jim, maybe we ought to sometime in this opening cameo, just bring a couple of the people that work at these time stations on just to say hello sometime. How do you think
that would be that would be a great idea. That would get them some experience on here and help us out.
Hey, you had a little word on Joanne Sharp down there in New Zealand. She had some good luck.
Yeah, basically over the weekend, she was working towards getting the world records on the 12-hour and 24-hour virtual ride. And pending verification, she's got the 12-hour. She did 400 kilometers, which is roughly 248 miles. And the 24-hour, she did 753 kilometers, which is roughly 468. So we really want to congratulate her on that great record.
And Joanne's going to be with us during the virtual world time trials coming up here now in January. And she will join us there at the start and the finish, as will Sabine Bird over there in Perth, Australia, and then you and April, and maybe we'll get somebody else in here. Who knows? We'll see how that goes.
Definitely. There's going to be a lot of good riders doing it.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun to kind of do that, keep that live process going that we've enjoyed so much. And let us be sure to remind everybody that you can make your comments and questions here either on YouTube or Facebook, and we can post them over here. So if you don't have any comments or questions, hey, just say hello so we know you're here and you're with us. So just in the comments section right below there, either place, you're going to be able to put those in and we'll post them here. Jim, you're going to be watching that tonight, are you?
Yes, sir. We'll watch it and get them up here.
Okay. Jim and I kind of divide responsibilities. Hey, it's enough. We've done enough. Oh, I do want to say I saw in the paper the obituary of Jerry Winter, and some of you might remember him from the Troy time station. He and his wife just were driving by there one day and stopped in and never heard of RAAM, didn't know anything about Race Across America, just wanted to see what this tent was all about out there. And 36 hours later, they were still there.
Wow.
And they became great fans. They became workers in the time stations. His wife became ill. And she passed away several years ago, and he has been ill since then. But as we say, Jim, if you don't want to get infected with the Race Across America, do not come to one of our time stations.
That's what happened to me in 2008, so I understand.
Yep. Yeah, that's what happens here. Hey, let's get these guys in here and get to talk here. First of all, Jerry Schemmel. Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, Lee. How you doing? Hi, Jim.
I'm doing well. And Jerry's going to be doing a Race Across America in 2021. We'll talk more about that later. But we also have with us Dave DeBrose, his crew chief. How are you, Dave?
Doing very well. Thank you guys so much for having us on today.
Thank you, guys.
Jerry, tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into all this.
I've never been on a bike in my life, Lee. No, I'm just joking. I did.
You wish you hadn't.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. I was a triathlete back in my 20s and tried the pro thing and I didn't have a lot of success, but always loved the the cycling portion of it, Lee. And it came back around about 15 years ago to where I needed something. I had survived a plane crash, and I kind of needed something physical to grab onto, kind of help with therapy after this crazy crash. And so I got back on a bike, and it just felt good, just felt right. And started riding, and the miles piled up, and I started doing these ultra distance events and did a couple rides across America, put charity events together, did several rides and races across the state of Colorado. And then 2015, so gosh, coming up on 6 years, I did the Race Across America as part of a 2-person relay, which we won that year. My partner, Brad Cooper, and I won. And here I am back 6 years later. I planned to do it last summer, but we got COVID, and now I'm planning to do it this summer in 2021 as a solo racer.
That is awesome.
Go ahead, Jim.
Oh, what kind of training have you been doing with COVID to make the 2021 happen? Have you done anything great like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to piece it together. I think like all of us are. For the most part, at least in Colorado here, we've been able to train outside, and the weather's been actually pretty darn good. There's just been a few days in the last couple months we haven't been able to get outside. The day was another great day. I was able to get out there, but when that doesn't happen, you just get on your trainer as much as you can. We're fortunate enough, my wife and I, to have a condominium in Scottsdale, Arizona, in Phoenix, and so plan on going down there, Jim, and getting some warm weather training in probably January and February when it's really cold and snowy in Colorado, and get those long rides in. But a little over 6 months away, so just starting to gear up the mileage and putting the plan together. Gotcha. Do you want to introduce your crew chief that's with us also? Yes, I do. This is not only my crew chief, he's my son-in-law. This is David DeRose. Yeah, David is married to our daughter. They have a 1-year-old girl, so we have a granddaughter now. They live about 10 minutes away from us in Denver here. And David was on a couple of my crazy races across Colorado as a crew chief, and I recruited him to be the crew chief for RAAM next summer. So we're excited about that. Always great to have family on your crew, as you guys know. Definitely.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is a crazy experience. Only having done the 2 crossing Colorados, you'd expect Jerry to be absolutely exhausted and wiped out the next day, but no, he was chipper as could be, jumping around, ready to go. And we were the ones that were so tired of being on the crew. So this guy puts in the work, and I'm really excited to see the shape that he gets in and what we're able to accomplish this upcoming year.
Outstanding. How many other people will be on your crew?
I think we're going to have anywhere at one point from 5 to 9. I think what we'll do is, since we come through Colorado, we can drop off and pick up some crew members. But I think we've, at least last time around when we had this plan last summer, we had, I think, 10 total. Not all at one time, but yeah, 10 total people. Probably 5 or 6 each time that I'm on the bike.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we're going to try to have.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
We're going to try to have like 3 to 4 people that are there the whole time. And then we're very blessed to have family all the way across the country. And so in these different stints, people will be on for 3 to 4 days.
Gotcha. Are you going to have a dietitian or a doctor with you at all on this trip?
No, I'm just counting on David for that. Yeah. Dr. DeRose. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, his wife, so our daughter is a nurse, so she's going to be on it. So I think that'll help. And she was on in 2015 with us, and it was really, really valuable, really helpful, especially to me. So we do have a medical professional. It's a nurse, not a doctor, but
gotcha.
We'll be in good shape with her.
Outstanding. Lee?
Yeah, well, a couple of things mentioned here, Jerry. We didn't mention the fact that we have a professional here, Jim. So we got to be on our best behavior. Jerry, sports broadcaster.
We're in trouble now.
I've been practicing all day, not doing and
I've blown it then.
You guys are doing great.
Thank you.
You guys are pros, no question.
We just try to have fun, Jerry.
Yeah, there you go.
I might point out that on the show notes on the OhioRAAMShow.com website, let me get that up here so you can see it. OhioRAAMShow.com. We have a link to Jerry's website there. You just have to click on it. And you mentioned the crash you survived. It was rather significant. You want to say a word about that, Jerry?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, Lee. It was 31 years ago. It'll be 31 years ago this summer. But 1989, the crash United Airlines Flight 232 in Sioux City, Iowa. And you might remember because it was videotaped. I mean,
I sure do.
Some of the
I
old
sure
timers
do.
like us remember it. But yeah, a local cameraman caught it on TV, and we had 296 people aboard. It was originally scheduled from Denver to Chicago. We blew an engine on a DC-10 about halfway to Chicago, made an emergency landing in Sioux City, Iowa, and with just almost no control of the aircraft from the cockpit crew, we crashed. We hit the ground and rolled over, and 112 people of the 296 people that were on board died in the crash. So, including my buddy and travel companion that was with me, sitting behind me, died in the crash. But miraculously, 112 of us did survive, and we'd be able to move on in life and ride our bikes like I'm doing.
Yeah, that's really great. Jerry, tell us a little bit about your charity that you're involved with.
Yeah, it's a Kyle Pease Foundation based in Atlanta, Lee. And what they do is they raise money for disabled athletes. So athletes that are in wheelchairs or might have disabilities that would prevent them from being an able-bodied participant in a competition, but they're in these events that allow these disabilities. So the foundation helps them with equipment. So if someone needs a wheelchair or a racer or anything, a paddleboard, whatever they might need, they'll help with the financial assistance with that. They'll help with entry fees. They'll help with transportation. Kyle Pease is actually a paraplegic, and his brother and he actually finished the Hawaii Ironman triathlon. He pulled his brother in a raft, pushed him in the cart, and then did the run thing. The only brother combination in the history of the triathlon to finish it. So I was really inspired by that. I have a radio show. Those guys were on as guests, and they were just really motivating, inspiring. And so I decided to do the charity for that foundation. But it's a wonderful cause to help people with disabilities do athletic events like we do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had Tom Oden on the show several years ago, and he was the person who first introduced me to the Kyle Pease Foundation because he was involved with actually helping with Kyle on some of these types of events. And I wish I had taken the time, Jim, to get some of the photos that they have done. It's really remarkable how they do this, particularly the swimming event, which I think is really quite remarkable. So I have the website there, teamkpeace.org. And again, on the show notes, OhioRAAMShow.com, you can go there and there'll be a link that will have the Kyle Pease Foundation website where you can go in there and a place that if you feel so constrained, you can donate there as well. And also I have a link there, Jerry, to that little interview you did with the TV station a few years ago about your experience with United Airlines. And I remember seeing that on television, and I saw the picture that says no one could possibly survive that. But you did, and I guess it was the remarkable skill of the crew that was able to even bring it down as well as they did, given the fact they had lost control. So we appreciate that. Jim, what else you got here?
Do you have any special events coming up to help you go towards RAAM 2021 or any fundraisers that you're going to do?
Yeah, we're going to have some. We don't have any set in stone right now, Jim, only because of COVID. We're just trying to navigate through that, and we're going to have a fundraiser. Do it in person? Is it a bike ride? We can't get our finger on all that right now. But yes, we're going to have some events. They'll be up on our website on the teamkpeace.org. Okay. And if someone wants to get involved that way, they could do that. But yeah, we'll have fundraisers between now and RAAM, and we'll probably do some special stuff with some sponsors as well.
Excellent.
Okay, very well. Well, listen, so glad to have you on here. And we'll be looking for you here in Ohio, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm looking
Definitely.
forward to it. Yeah.
There'll be some cowbells as you go by, and
Yep.
we're always here to help your crews in any way we can, and always glad to see you guys.
Well, Lee, what I'm hoping is that I will see you, because that means I'm toward the end of the race. If I'm in Ohio, that means I'm getting close. So I hope I see you. I hope I'm not done by then. I plan to see you and to stop and talk to you. How's that?
That would be great.
That's a good thing. But people who haven't been across the course before will say, "Oh, we only got 600 miles left." And I said, "You forget about West Virginia."
I just want you to promise me when I stop, you'll have some caffeine for me. Can you do that?
We will do that.
Okay.
We will do that. That's for sure.
All right.
Yes.
And I do want to say to David there that, I'm not surprised that you were tired. That is a tough job.
It was incredible experience.
In the car, and it is really remarkable what the crews do.
Yep. I think crewing is harder than the rider's job sometimes. Really do.
I agree.
You know what? I have to say, I really enjoyed it. We had an amazing group of family and friends that were all working together for a common cause.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Jerry mentioned, but he did all 4 cardinal directions across Colorado a couple summers ago.
Wow.
With a partner. And so they tag teamed it, and just all the planning and math. And, we got a lot of incline. So what kind of legs are we going to be doing? Where they're going to be at, what kind of nutrition do they need, what kind of rest do they need. It's really complex, but it's really fun. And I would even say it's incredibly addicting, especially when you get to the end, you have that euphoria of, wow, we did it. It's incredible. Yeah.
And you can always tell how well it went by how the teams react to one another at the end.
Very true. But the endurance these guys demonstrate is absolutely ridiculous. I've played college football and I've done some athletic things myself, but I think nothing compares to how impressive, these ultra athletes are. It's incredible.
Definitely.
Right. Okay. Very good. Well, listen, we want to thank you for being with us. And for those of you out there, we'd like to make sure you check that like button in Facebook or subscribe there in YouTube. And also, I had it up here a little while ago. We're going to be on again Saturday, 2:00 on Saturday afternoon, Eastern Time, 8 p.m. in Denmark, when we have Team Skydog or Soren Rosenkilde. Jim and I had the ultimate failure. The day before we were to go on, my internet service, we had a big windstorm here in Ohio, and a lot of our cable is still hanging up in the air here, and mine went out completely. And I called Jim and I said, "Look, it's your baby. You handle it." Now we live 12 miles apart, so you would think, but lo and behold, about a half hour before, boom, Jim's goes down, and we had to get a hold of him in a hurry and say, "I'm sorry, but we're out of luck here." And wouldn't you know it, about 5 minutes before showtime, and now we'd already canceled, my internet came back up. I don't think yours did for a while.
No.
We're going to have him on Saturday. He's going to do RAAM in 2021 as well, and be glad to talk with him. And we want to thank everybody for being with us. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, David. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
And we hope you raise a whole lot of money for that. Jim, as always, we thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lee.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hang around, guys.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.